AITA for not liking how my girlfriend dresses for work. So I, 43M, don't think I'm in the wrong here, but my mother is very angry at me, and my best friend said I was a horrible person for saying what I did, and I'd be lucky if my girlfriend didn't put me out with the garbage, since I decided I wanted to act like trash. My girlfriend, 34F, is a preschool teacher, and for some reason I can't explain, she dresses like Miss Frizzle. Like a dress with the pattern of whatever they are studying. She makes a lot of them herself, now including matching masks. The kids love it, and the parents seem to think it's great. I don't like the amount of attention she gets, honestly. I'd prefer if she came home and changed before running any errands. On Friday, she helped my mom with something after work and she was still in her weird dress. I have told her before I don't like when she dresses that way, but she tells me I don't have to like it, but I have no right to tell her how to dress. I was upset she went out like that with my mother, and told her that my mom said she was embarrassed and to ask that she please not dress like that again if they're going out. I was not expecting her to call my mom and apologize. When my mom asked what she meant, she told her what I said. My mom was furious, explained she doesn't have a problem with how my girlfriend dresses and thinks it's great she spends extra time doing things to engage her students. My mom then yelled at me for lying to my girlfriend and trying to throw her under the bus because I was being an insecure jerk. My girlfriend and I got into a huge fight. I said she should be embarrassed to be seen in public like that. She said the only thing she was embarrassed by was me. She hasn't spoken to me or done anything for me since. My friend said I was horrible and called me trash. I shouldn't have lied, but I think my girlfriend should take what I think about her clothes into consideration, and I'm not sorry for expecting her dress more appropriately in public. Am I really such an asshole here? Edit, I'm sure you all will be pleased to know we broke up tonight. He said I'm too controlling and narrow-minded, so she broke up with me. You don't understand why a preschool teacher would dress in bright, fun, educational outfits. This can't be for real, can it? Bro. What? Mrs. Frizzle is a treasure, she is not to be disrespected. I don't like the amount of attention she gets, honestly. Translation: I'm insecure and don't like people looking at what I consider mine. Look, your mom and friend are right. You acted atrociously, you lied, you seem to think your opinion should hold more weight than her own, and when called out, you act like everyone else is being unreasonable. Why exactly do you think she should take your opinion on how she dresses into consideration? Do you take her opinion into consideration? Because it certainly doesn't sound like it. Am I the only person who wants the girlfriend to post the dresses? She makes them herself and she makes sure they tie in with the lesson plan, and makes matching face masks. She is a genius and I want to be her friend. In what world is she inappropriate? She sounds like she has confidence and a personality. AITA for using my mother's own threat against her and calling my brother a tattletale. I will turn 19 on Thanksgiving this year. My mother is extremely controlling. She doesn't think your birthday should be celebrated if it falls on a holiday. So myself and my older sister, 22F, whose birthday is sometimes on Easter, will sometimes not be acknowledged at all because your birthday isn't a holiday. And she will kick people out if they wished us a happy birthday. It's ridiculous. This isn't even the most controlling thing she does. If you get upset, you're the problem, and how dare you hurt her feelings? So my sister said she'd bring me a cupcake for my birthday that I could have after everyone left. My brother, 13M, overheard and told my mother, and she kicked up a big fuss about it. She called my sister and they got into an argument, and now my sister isn't coming at all because my mother uninvited her. I miss my sister, so when she invited me to her place instead, I said yes. My brother tattled again and my mom tried to tell me I couldn't go. My sister has offered me a room in her apartment and I'm really tempted to move. I told my mother I was going and she couldn't stop me, and if she threatened to kick me out like she likes to do, you. I had somewhere to go, so let me know if I need to start packing. She just sort of floundered for a minute before turning on the tears. I just walked away. She doesn't want me to move because she needs my extra help with my brother, like driving him places and keeping an eye on him. My brother said I was being an asshole, but I told him if he wasn't always such a tattletale this wouldn't be a problem. I then shut the door in his face. My sister is thrilled I stood up for myself, but I got a call from my grandmother, who is also controlling, saying I'm being ridiculous and I owe everyone an apology. To hear update, I want to thank everyone for their response. I really appreciate it. I am moving in with my sister this weekend. I'm packing little at a time. I don't want to raise her suspicion or she'll be awful until I leave or try and stop me. I already have my important documents, and will leave either Friday night or early Saturday morning. To address a few comments I got about my brother, he thinks it's funny when she yells at me or my sister and consistently tries to get us in trouble because he's a good kid. NTA. I would move out regardless of what your mom does if your sister is offering the room. The sooner you gain independence from your mom, the more power over your own life you will have. On another note, your brother sounds like he's been spoiled. I wouldn't put any stock in what he says. NTA. And get out. Go 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 go. If you're waiting for a sign it's time to go, this is the sign. I cannot express to you how fast you have to stop taking shit from her. Your mother has no right treating you like this, and you got yourself an way out. Take it! Exclamation mark. NTA, get out while you can. Absolutely NTA, and take up that offer from your sister ASAP. Your mother is toxic. Edit. Congratulations you/Thanksgiving birthday. Please post an update once you've settled into the new apartment. Here's wishing you and your sister a very happy Thanksgiving. AITA for building a fence to keep out my neighbors. Obligatory throwaway account. Earlier this year I, 26F, got an inheritance from a family member and it was a godsend. I finally got to move out and get my own place after living paycheck to paycheck. My dream place. I could never get a place like this without providence or cutting my way through the corporate ladder with a machete. But the most important part is the pool. I love it. I'd swim every day if the weather let me. It has helped me get in great shape. The problem comes from the neighbors. Mark fake name, and Kaylee fake a name, but it's something like that. Have 3 kids, Brad 16 meters, Chad 14 meters, and Lee 11F. They started out friendly enough, especially Kaylee, who's dripping with housewife, yoga, PTA energy. She told me about a week after I moved in over a plate of cookies that the prior owners of the house were an older couple who let her kids use the pool whenever they wanted because their kids were out of the house and they didn't like quiet. I, on the other hand, love quiet. I am introverted, I love my privacy. First thing I did when I moved in was put up curtains. Told her I was uncomfortable with that arrangement, but perhaps they could come over occasionally if they don't abuse the privilege. Cue the children abusing the privilege all summer. Every time I was out swimming, it would not be long before Chad and Brad would run over and jump in, followed by Lee with her floaties. And being teenage boys, they'd always want to roughhouse or gape at me or my friends when we'd get out of the pool and make gross comments. This would be tolerable if it happened once a week. They even brought friends a couple of times, and more than a couple of times I've had to tell them they need to leave cause I was with adults doing adult things, drinking, etc. So now I'm putting up a fence, for 2 reasons. 1. I'm getting a dog. 2. I want my privacy. Kaylee ran out of their house when she saw me and a couple of friends hammering in the fence and digging holes for privacy hedges. I made sure everything was within regulation and right on the property line. She said if I put up a fence it'd be harder for her kids to come over and play. I said yup. She asked if I was planning on putting a gate between our yards. I said nope. Finally she asked, a little choked up, if I was depriving her kids of our pool. Our pool? I told her how in the beginning I had said they could use the pool as long as they did not abuse the privilege, and they did. I said now they can only come over if invited. She told me they were going to be crushed and saw me as a big sister. I told her no teenage boy looks at their sister the way those boys looked at me and my friends. She took huge offense to that, and it might have been gross to hear, but so were the comments on my bikini from her boys. It's too much. I'm not their babysitter, and I have every right to my privacy, but some people have been saying the fence is too much and I'm going to hurt the kids' feelings. Am I the asshole? To answer some questions, I think there was a fence on the property at some point, but the previous owners must have taken it down and put up small bushes. Even the 11-year could hop over to outline the backyard and make it easier for them to come over. I very well may get a security system if I feel like they don't respect the fence, but I'm guessing due to the husband's silence he may be on my side and just not saying anything. Getting a rescue dog in the pool is not the only safety issue I'm concerned about. The mom works from home, doing what I'd so I suspect many times she sent them over to get out of her hair. This is not the first time I've put my foot down and asked them to limit or even announce their visits, but I'm a bit of a pushover and I kind of like Lee. But I can't just impose limits on the older kids and let her come over whenever she wants. It has to be all of them, and she's much more polite about it. The fence is as high as legally allowed, so we doubled down and got privacy hedges. I'm mostly just getting complaints from other neighbors about Kaylee complaining to them and asking me why I can't just put in a gate for the sake of the kids, but to me that's as inviting as no fence. Also, the whole liability thing, they only come over when I'm in the pool. I'm guessing because their mom wants to make sure someone's there watching them, but that makes me all the more annoyed because, like I said, I'm not a babysitter. NTA. Build it higher for that extra privacy. It install cameras too in case those kids try to come over without permission. Seconded. The mom may encourage them to sneak in too, so be extra careful. NTA. Not at all. In fact, however high you were planning on building this fence, make it a foot higher. Another update, I have no idea why there wasn't a fence already, but this was my first house, so it wasn't until midway through the summer that it even came up. That's when the fence plan started forming in my head. My insurance guy was just as surprised as you all were. The reason I didn't list my dog or insurance as reasons why I was putting up the fence to Kaylee was because I've been dealing with her flippant attitude for months, was too tired to bullshit any longer, and I had just pulled up the courage to tell her off. I doubt she has much control of her kids because I haven't heard anything from her since, but Chad and Brad have invited me to play video games. Hell no, and Lee has asked me what kind of dog I plan on getting and if she could come by to see it if she promises to text me first. At least Lee has learned that her actions might have been upsetting you and learned some common courtesy.